Imagine being a middle-aged ocean current, cruising through life like it's a tropical vacation. Europe's warm, the tropics are chill, and everything's in perfect flow. Then, boom, climate change enters like that one friend who insists on taking you to a boot camp class. Suddenly, you're struggling to keep up, gasping for air, and questioning all your life choices. Welcome to the midlife crisis of the Atlantic Meridional Overturning Circulation, the ocean's equivalent of buying a sports car and starting yoga. And trust me, it's not pretty. The Atlantic Meridional Overturning Circulation is the unsung hero of Earth's climate, but it's starting to sweat under the pressure. Meet the Atlantic Meridional Overturning Circulation, the ocean's conveyor belt. Before we dive into the drama, let's get to know our protagonist. The Atlantic Meridional Overturning Circulation is like the ocean's conveyor belt, transporting warm water from the tropics to the North Atlantic and cold water southward. This process plays a pivotal role in regulating global climate, influencing weather patterns, and even supporting marine ecosystems. It's the unsung hero of our planet's climate system. The Atlantic Meridional Overturning Circulation operates through a combination of wind-driven surface currents and density-driven deep-water formation. Warm, salty water from the tropics moves northward, cooling and becoming denser as it reaches higher latitudes. This dense water sinks to the deep ocean, creating a downward flow that pulls more surface water northward, completing the circuit. This process not only helps distribute heat, but also plays a significant role in the ocean's ability to absorb carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. Climate change, the uninvited guest. Enter climate change, the party crasher. Rising global temperatures are heating up the oceans, making the surface water lighter and less salty. This dilution reduces the water's density, making it less likely to sink and drive the Atlantic Meridional Overturning Circulation. Additionally, increased freshwater from melting ice sheets and intensified rainfall adds more water to the mix, further disrupting the delicate balance that keeps the AMOC flowing smoothly. The influx of freshwater from melting ice sheets, particularly in Greenland, is a significant contributor to the weakening of the Atlantic Meridional Overturning Circulation. As the ice melts, it releases freshwater into the North Atlantic, reducing the salinity and density of the surface waters. This makes it more difficult for the water to sink and drive the deep water formation that is essential for the Atlantic Meridional Overturning Circulation operation. Studies have shown that the AMOC has weakened by approximately 15 to 20% since the mid-20th century, with projections indicating further weakening if current trends continue. The Atlantic Meridional Overturning Circulation slowdown, a worrying trend. Recent studies show that the AMOC is showing serious signs of slowing down, like an ocean current going into retirement a little too early. It's not yet fully panicked, but it's definitely slowing down, and the warning signs are starting to pile up like a bad traffic jam. First up, Europe could be in for a chilly surprise. Think of it as the ocean's way of sending Europe, and I'm not happy with you, cold shoulder, especially in the UK and Scandinavia. Then, as if that wasn't enough, the U.S. East Coast might see its sea levels rise like the world's worst water balloon fight. And as if the oceans were not already in a midlife crisis, the Atlantic Meridional Overturning Circulation slowdown could bring more extreme weather events globally, making tornadoes, hurricanes, and snowstorms feel like the new normal. If the Atlantic Meridional Overturning Circulation just packs up and shuts down, we're talking global chaos. Europe would be a lot colder, sea levels would be surging, and Africa and South America could lose their monsoon systems, causing droughts that even a superhero couldn't fix. Plus, marine life would be like, where's my food? As the nutrient flow dries up, leading to a major oceanic disappointment. The tipping point, when the ocean says enough. Scientists are waving red flags, telling us that the Atlantic Meridional Overturning Circulation is approaching a tipping point, like the ocean's version of a temper tantrum. Imagine an ocean current, calmly cruising along, then suddenly slamming on the brakes and saying, enough of this. Once that tipping point is crossed, we're in for a wild ride. We're not just talking about Europe getting a cold shoulder, but also Africa and South America losing their monsoon patterns like a DJ losing the beat at a party. Without those rains, we're looking at droughts and food shortages that make a bad day at the grocery store look like a dream. The tipping point for the Atlantic Meridional Overturning Circulation depends on some tricky factors, like the rapid influx of freshwater from melting ice sheets, shifts in wind patterns, and the general ocean warming. Some experts think the Atlantic Meridional Overturning Circulation could hit this critical point as soon as 2050. If it does, buckle up, because the collapse could trigger rapid, irreversible changes to the climate in just a few decades. It's like playing Jenga, And that last block, it could change everything. The global ripple effect. The ripple effect of a collapsing Atlantic meridional overturning circulation is not just a problem for Europe. It's like a bad breakup that keeps affecting everyone. Picture this. You're chilling in your beach house, and suddenly, the weather's all over the place, thanks to a disrupted global heat distribution. Welcome to unpredictable weather, where snowstorms hit the Sahara and the tropics start experiencing winter. Marine life, which has relied on the AMOC for nutrient delivery like a good buffet, will be left hungry, and fish stocks might become as rare as a unicorn sighting. But wait, there's more. If agriculture in Europe starts suffering from cooler temperatures and erratic rain, we could see food shortages, higher prices, and probably a lot more hangry people. Rising sea levels, combined with extreme weather, might turn coastal infrastructure into a house of cards one storm, and it's all washed away. Not only will it cost a fortune to fix, but we'll have communities displaced like musical chairs, except no one's getting a seat. So, yeah, if the Atlantic meridional overturning circulation throws in the towel, it's not just Europe's problem, it's a full-blown global climate meltdown. Hope on the horizon. Can we reverse the tide? While the situation is grim, there's still a glimmer of hope, like a plot twist in a thriller movie. Scientists aren't just sitting around shaking their heads. They're on the case, telling us to put down that plastic straw and stop pretending we don't know what sustainable practices mean. Seriously, tackling the greenhouse gas problem is step one if we want to keep the AMOC from having a meltdown. We need to switch to renewable energy, stop deforestation like it's going out of style, and maybe, just maybe, give our planet a bit of a spa day. If we can cool down the global temperature, we'll slow down the ice melt in Greenland and other polar regions, which will help keep the Atlantic meridional overturning circulation rhythm steady. So, imagine a world where the oceans don't panic every time the thermostat goes up. By restoring forests, wetlands, and other ecosystems, we'll make sure less freshwater floods into the North Atlantic. Think of it like putting a cap on a bottle, no more spilling the good stuff. If we get this right, the Atlantic meridional overturning circulation might just give us a thank you wave, instead of retreating into its midlife crisis. The ocean's call to action. The Atlantic meridional overturning circulation struggle is like a massive red flag waving in our faces, reminding us that the planet's in crisis and it's not going to fix itself. It's like watching your friend go through a meltdown and just sitting there, scrolling through Instagram, pretending you don't notice. But we can't afford to ignore the oceans. They're having their own existential crisis. We need to step up, make smarter choices, and push for policies that are as refreshing as a sea breeze. After all, the fate of the Atlantic meridional overturning circulation is in our hands, and if we don't act, the oceans might just swipe left on us for good. Let's be the heroes this planet deserves, before the oceans start sending us cold shoulder texts. So, roll up your sleeves, make your voice heard, and let's get to work, because the ocean isn't going to save itself. If you enjoy diving into the deep end of the Atlantic meridional overturning circulation midlife crisis, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more oceanic adventures. Let's keep the current flowing. Together, we can make waves of change. Catch you in the next one, where we'll unravel more climate mysteries with a splash of humor.